I sold premium fuel to people who didn't need it for 11 years. 11 years behind a service counter watching drivers pull up in standard Corollas and Civics, hear the word premium, and reach for the more expensive nozzle without a second thought. I never corrected them. The margin was better, the shift moved faster, and nobody ever came back to complain. But here's what I know now, having spent the last several years talking to fuel chemists, engine builders, and the kind of independent shop owners who've seen the inside of 50,000 engines. Those drivers were wasting money every single fill-up, and the industry knew it. This isn't a conspiracy. What it is, though, is a gap between what's technically true about premium gasoline and what most drivers actually understand, and that gap has been worth billions of dollars a year to the fuel retail industry. Let's start with what the industry gets right, because, to be fair, they do get something right. Premium fuel exists for a legitimate reason. High compression engines, think performance, vehicles, turbocharged 4-cylinders, high output V6 and V8s, generate more heat and pressure inside the combustion chamber than standard engines. That extra pressure creates a risk called engine knock, or pre-detonation, where the air-fuel mixture ignites before the spark plug fires. Think of it like a drummer hitting the snare on the wrong beat. The rhythm falls apart, and over time, so does the engine. Higher octane fuel resists that premature ignition. For those engines, premium isn't a luxury. The owner's manual says required, not recommended, and that word matters enormously. If your manual uses the word required, use premium, full stop. But here's where the story gets more complicated and more expensive for most drivers. The majority of vehicles on the road today, the sedans, the crossovers, the pickup trucks most people are actually driving, run on naturally aspirated engines or modern turbocharged engines with sophisticated knock sensor technology that adjusts ignition timing on the fly. For these vehicles, the manual says something like 87 octane recommended or regular unleaded. Some say premium recommended with that crucial word, recommended, not required. And for all of those cars, filling up with premium fuel over regular may deliver zero measurable benefit to the engine. Not 5% better, not marginally better, potentially none. Pay attention to this part, because it's where millions of dollars get spent for no reason. The American Automobile Association, a source with no incentive to favor either the fuel industry or the automakers, conducted testing on vehicles that called for regular fuel and found no meaningful difference in performance, fuel economy, or emissions when those vehicles were filled with premium. Their guidance aligned with what multiple automotive engineers have stated in published interviews and technical papers. Octane above what an engine requires does not improve combustion. You can't exceed optimal. The engine takes what it needs and no more. So why do so many drivers fill up with premium anyway? Some of it is the marketing language around premium fuel. The word premium implies superior quality in every context we use it. Premium seats, premium ingredients, premium everything. In fuel, it means one specific thing, higher octane rating. That's it. It doesn't mean cleaner. It doesn't mean more energetic. It doesn't mean better for your engine across the board. Octane is an ignition resistance measurement, not a grade of purity or power. But here's where it gets genuinely interesting. And this is the part the fuel industry doesn't advertise loudly. The thing that may actually matter for your engine's long-term health, far more than whether you're running 87 or 93 octane in a car that doesn't require premium, is whether your fuel contains quality detergent additives. And that's where a concept called top-tier certification comes in, along with something called PEA or a polyethyramine. Here's the technical term to analogy breakdown. PEA is a detergent compound that suspends and removes carbon deposits from fuel injectors and intake valves the way a good degreaser lifts grease from a stovetop. Not instantly, but progressively over hundreds of miles. Carbon deposits are the gummy, dark buildup that accumulates on injector tips and valve stems over time, especially in direct injection engines where fuel doesn't wash over the intake valves. You'd recognize it if you pulled a valve cover on a high-mileage direct injection engine, that thick, dark, almost tar-like residue coating the backs of the intake valves. When injectors clog or intake valves cake up with carbon, the fuel spray pattern changes. The engine runs slightly rough. Fuel economy drops. Cold starts to feel hesitant. You might hear a faint stumble at idle that wasn't there at 40,000 miles. The consequence is real. Degraded combustion efficiency, potential misfires, and, on some engines, significantly accelerated wear on fuel system components. Now, the top-tier fuel certification program was established by a coalition that included automakers like General Motors, BMW, Toyota, Honda, Volkswagen, and others. Their position, based on engine testing, was that the EPA's minimum detergent standard for gasoline was not sufficient to prevent the kind of deposit buildup that shortens engine life. Top-tier certified fuels must contain a higher level of detergent additives, including PEA-based compounds, at every octane grade, regular, mid-grade, and premium alike. Let that sink in for a second. Top-tier certification applies to regular 87 octane fuel, just as much as it applies to premium 93. A top-tier regular is, by the chemistry involved, better for deposit control than a non-top-tier premium. This is the detail that rewrites the whole calculus for most drivers. If you're driving a standard commuter car that calls for regular fuel, and you've been buying premium at a non-top-tier station thinking you're doing your engine a favor, the evidence suggests you may be spending 30 to 50 cents more per gallon for no deposit control benefit and no octane benefit your engine can even use. Meanwhile, filling the same car with top-tier regular from a certified station may actually serve your engine better in the long run. The list of top-tier certified retailers is publicly available. It includes major chains, as well as independent stations. Not every big-name brand qualifies, and some smaller regional chains do. It's worth looking up once and adjusting your habits. Wait, there's another layer here that most people miss entirely. Standalone fuel additives. You'll find them on the shelves of most auto parts stores, usually priced between $1 and a few dollars per bottle. Some of them are essentially concentrated doses of the same PEA detergent chemistry that top-tier stations put into their fuel in smaller quantities. The category ranges from legitimate products with documented testing to essentially useless formulations. But the credible ones, and if you ask the counterstaff, at an independent shop that services direct injection engines, they'll usually point you towards specific brands. Can help clean injectors and intake passages over the course of several hundred miles of normal driving. The irony is visible right there in the pricing. A $1 bottle of a reputable PEA-based detergent additive used periodically in a regular grade fill-up at a top-tier station may do more measurable good for your engine than spending an extra dollar per gallon on premium at a discount station that uses minimum spec detergent packages. That's not marketing, that's combustion chemistry. Engine builders who disassemble high-mileage engines for a living will tell you the same thing if you ask them directly. The question isn't just what octane grade you're buying, it's what's in the fuel with it. Now let's address the counter-argument fairly because it exists and it has some merit. Modern turbocharged engines with knock sensors are designed to adapt. If you put regular in a car that says premium recommended, the knock sensor detects any tendency toward pre-detonation and retards the ignition timing to compensate. The engine won't be damaged in the normal sense. However, and this is the nuance some people gloss over, running with retarded ignition timing does reduce power output and, depending on how aggressively your driving style is, may modestly affect fuel economy. You won't notice it in light city driving. You might notice it if you're towing, merging onto a highway at full throttle, or driving in high ambient temperatures where the engine is already working harder. For those use cases in those vehicles, the premium recommendation carries more weight than it does for light-duty driving. The conditional advice here is specific. If your manual says premium required, no discussion, use it every time. If your manual says premium recommended and you do spirited driving, frequent towing, or live somewhere consistently hot, the case for premium is reasonable. If your manual says regular recommended and premium recommended isn't even mentioned, filling with premium is almost certainly money that's going nowhere useful. Here's what you can actually do about this week. Open your owner's manual, glove box, right now or this weekend, and find the fuel requirements section. It will usually say something very specific. Note whether the word is required or recommended. Then look up the top-tier fuel retailer list online and check whether your regular station is on it. If it isn't, consider whether a nearby alternative is. And the next time you're at an auto parts store, ask about PEA-based fuel system cleaners for periodic use. You don't need them every fill-up, maybe every 15 to 20,000 miles, but the ones that work are cheap. And independent shop owners often swear by them for direct injection engines that are showing early signs of deposit buildup. The physical symptom to watch for on your next cold start: pay attention to whether the engine catches immediately and settles into a smooth idle within 30 seconds, or whether there's a rough stumble, a hesitation, or a faint rattle that takes longer than usual to settle. That stumble on a cold morning, you might not even think much of it, can be an early indicator of injector deposits affecting spray pattern. It's worth noticing. There's also a smell test worth knowing. If you're detecting a faint sulfur or rich fuel smell from your vents during warm-up, that can sometimes indicate an incomplete combustion event tied to deposit-fouled injectors. It's not diagnostic on its own, but combined with the cold start roughness, it's something to mention to your mechanic. The larger point is this: the fuel industry has done a remarkable job of associating the word premium with quality in a general sense, when the technical reality is much more specific. The additives in your fuel, the detergent package, may matter more for everyday engine health than the octane grade in the BIOS majority of cars, the majority of drivers are actually operating. That information exists in published form from automaker coalitions and fuel engineers. It just isn't printed on the pump. Most people filling up with premium in cars that run fine on regular aren't doing anything catastrophic. They're just spending money they don't need to spend. And in an era when fuel costs are a significant household budget line, the difference between filling a 20-gallon tank with premium versus regular 3 times a month adds up to several $100s a year. That money could go toward an actual maintenance item, a fuel system cleaning service, a fresh air filter, a set of quality spark plugs, things that have documented effects on combustion efficiency and engine longevity. The industry voices who have addressed this aren't fringe skeptics. They include engineers at automakers who helped design the engines in question, fuel chemists who formulated the detergent packages, and testing organizations that ran the numbers. The guidance has been available for years. The gap isn't in the information, it's in how loudly that information is shared, compared to the marketing spend behind premium fuel positioning. Seriously, check your vehicle this weekend. Pull the manual, find the fuel grade page, and know what your specific engine actually requires. If you know someone who's been filling a regular spec car with premium for years on the assumption it's just better, send them this video. And subscribe so you don't miss the follow-up, where we go deeper into which fuel system additives independent mechanics actually use on their own vehicles, and the ones they say are a complete waste of money.